Hello guys and welcome to another Couchisode. Today you will get arrested for being normal.
We're getting out of the ordinary and just going to rescue a princess from a castle.
And we're going secret agent man, secret agent man, secret.
Wow, after that singing intro, I just have to take advantage of my sexy voice tonight, and I'm also going to sing. So,
No.
yeah,
You,
yeah,
you sound
yeah.
you sound like a dying horse. To
Doesn't
be
matter.
honest.
I'm gonna take advantage of this. So, let's
Okay.
do this. Oh, you touch my... No, I'm not doing this. Carry on, DJ.
No, I mean, no, don't
Nah,
do it, man. Don't do it.
nah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll try to keep it up myself, and well, that's not going to be very difficult, right? Because everybody knows already that I like to speak a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Just don't give him any
guys,
point and clicks.
no, actually, all right, it might, but not exactly a point and click, but we'll get there. First of all, we have to address one thing, and thank you guys for all your comments on our last Couchisode, the 30th, the one that celebrates our channel anniversary, although not yet the Couch Buddies an anniversary. That's going to be later on in November, which will make a mega party or something like that. But anyways, until that day is not here, we have decided that we would announce the winners for the giveaway that we did on the last Couchisode, based on some of the comments that they had. And so the question that we asked
yeah.
was, what was your favorite Couchisode and why? And we got some really, really good answers, some very particular ones. But we already selected it. As we said, we just basically selected the three best comments, and then we also randomly assigned the game to it. And what we came up was, and hope you guys are ready, that we're going to announce the winners for that. So the winner of Warhammer Chaos Bane was FM, and it was a very long comment, but it had a lot of meaning, and thank you for that. His favorite Couchisode was the first one, and he told us that, despite that we brought him a lot of memories on some of his favorite games, we also added some really good ones to his collection because he didn't know some of the games that we talk about. And, additionally, he was also able to meet for the first time some of the wonderful members of this community, some of the guys that actually are here always on the comments, some of them that actually already sent some, very good participations into our Couchisodes. So, he also suggested that when all of this pandemic is over, we have a big gathering, and that's definitely a done deal. I think that we really need to do that. But in essence, this is exactly what we expect. This is exactly what we want, to bring up some of the, the memories, and also add some new things that people haven't really, played back then and can play them now, either by the wonder of GOG or releases on Steam or something like that. So FM, congratulations. Warhammer Chaos Bane is yours. Don't forget, send us an email for the email address that we have on the description, and we'll get in touch with you to share the key. Now, the second one. This was a funny one, and I'll say right now that the Off-Road Mania title that was the courtesy of It's a Pixel Thing, as we mentioned on the previous Couchisode, goes to Renato Martins, and his favorite Couchisode was the first one. And needless to say that Renato loved seeing me screwing up saying episode instead of Couchisode on the first one. So I guess that first Couchisode again comes up to the voting as the favorite one. And just because you like to see me miserable, there you go. Take a free game for you, a very good one actually, and I hope that you enjoy. The third one, and last but not the least, it goes to a person that has participated in this in the Couch Buddies quite often, not because of that, but because once again we were able to introduce him to a new game that he didn't know of. So without further ado, the third game, which is The Beast Inside, goes to Hugo Cardoso. Thank you, Hugo, and congratulations for this game. Obviously, he picked the second Couchisode because of Shadow Dancer that you talked about, played. Excellent game also. But also because he didn't know about Street Rod. And Street Rod is such an amazing game for the PC that I was really, really amazed that he didn't know about it. And I'm glad that he was introduced to that and that he is now able to, to play it. Both Street Rod 1 and 2 are excellent games. As he called it, the Fast and Furious from the Tuga, or from our country as we call it, Tuga, Portugal. I would like to say that it's the Fast and Furious of the late 60s, because that's when the game was from, or when the game was actually technically from. Yeah, exactly. So, this said, thank you very much for participating, guys. You know what to do. There's an email address down there on the description. You just have to send us an email saying which game you won, and we'll be happy to revert back with the keys. Thank you for being on that side, for supporting us, and let's get right on to the 31st Couchisode and, starting a whole new era and a new chapter. I'm going to kick it off with a great game today. One that I was supposed to talk about for a really, really long time. But then I always thought that, I need to talk about this game properly, and I need to... it's an idea. Maybe later on in the channel we'll see like an in-depth review of this game. But the fact is that this game is probably one of the weirdest games that I've ever played. And, we'll get into that, but I'll explain right now.
I'm curious.
The game I'm going to be talking about is Normality from 1996. This was for PC MS-DOS and was developed and published by in the European Union by Gremlin Interactive. So, one of the weirdest games, as I was saying, that I ever played, and at the level of Goat Simulator and Farming Simulator. I'm probably going to get some heat for this on the comments, as there will be people saying, but what do you mean that Goat Simulator is weird? Well, it's awesome. A simulator of a goat. So, I respect if you guys like that. But anyways, the plot brings us to the city of Neutropolis, once a beautiful city that is now a complete police state where any kind of fun is prohibited. Kind of like, going to your parents' hometown, where the most exciting thing that happened in the last 10 years was when someone left a cow on the loose to terrorize the whole population of 46 people. You get it? Like, looking in retrospective, you will always laugh at that, but there's always that old man John that sees this as the catastrophic event to the level of a civil riot. But, that's it. That's the people of Neutropolis. Like, you cannot have any fun. You cannot do anything that, is considered to be funny. However, a rebel youngster by the name of Kyle Knudsen wants to defy this abnormal behavior and refuses to do the same. And because of that, he gets arrested by the police for simply whistling a happy tune while he was walking down the street. So, yeah, can you imagine you're whistling down the street and you get arrested? The game begins as Kyle is getting released from jail, but not before receiving a message from one of the other inmates that will fill him in about the very strange behavior of the city's inhabitants and how an underground rebellion is forming up to unveil this mystery. Now, placed in home arrest, we will have to escape our own home and solve this intriguing mystery. Throughout this adventure, we'll have to answer some questions like, why is the city so controlled? Why does the most successful company in the town makes furniture? And last but not the least, I think the most important question of the game is, why can't penguins fly? So, Blade, do you know why can't penguins fly?
Gravity.
No, because they don't have money for plane tickets. Duh. Come on, man.
Seriously?
That was so simple.
Seriously?
I'm getting into the stupid jokes, like the lame dad jokes.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the mood. Last Couchisode, there was also one there. Maybe we'll see.
And you
this
actually
very
mentioned earlier that the most amusing thing that could happen in an odd town was setting a cow loose. That would be amusing.
Yes. Oh wow.
See,
man. All right,
I can
gameplay
always
wise.
get one step down.
Gameplay wise, I must say that this was it was probably one of the best games that was successful at mixing the first person perspective with the point and click elements. The movement is carried with the arrow keys, and then you use your mouse to, point and click like it's supposed to be. The tricky part here was that you could also look up and down, and this was very crucial because there were objects that you had to interact and waypoints, such as ladders and ledges, that could only be visible by doing so. So you really had to use the up and down perspective to be able to, progress in some parts of the game. So it was actually a very funny situation in the beginning of the game where the carpet has the shape of I can't remember what it is exactly. I played this game so long ago, but it has the shape of something that was on the floor and basically carved its shape on the carpet. I don't really remember what it is. I should have done the investigation on this, but I didn't. I just remembered about the detail right now.
Lazy DJ.
No, not lazy. I actually wrote a whole script about this game. I mean, what do you think? That this is like me talking about it? Because I'm very terrible at improvising, so I have to script the whole thing. On the interaction side, and if the game was not already uncanny, the way you could interact with objects, people, or environment is via a voodoo doll. And this was so funny. A voodoo doll in the form of a keychain pops up, and you can use it to talk, pick up items, use them, etc., etc. And curiously enough, this is what LucasArts would later do in The Curse of Monkey Island with the coin interface. If you remember, you'd have a coin that would pop up, and then you could select the actions that you could do with Guybrush in The Curse of Monkey Island, which I must say, it's one of my favorite Monkey Island games. It's The Curse of Monkey Island. I mean, and I know it's... I know it's very hated by a lot of people. I mean, not hated specifically, but someone would say that it's not one of the best Monkey Island games. But I simply loved it, and the voice acting on this game is amazing.
Actually,
but getting back to Normality, the US version, although, had a much more interesting voice casting that had no other than Corey Feldman on the voice of Kyle Knudsen. And, we'll talk about Corey Feldman. Then you might ask, well, who is Corey Feldman? Well, among starring in many movies throughout his career, the guy has done like over, 50 movies or something like that, as well as appearances in series, documentaries, and stuff like that. He was the character Pete Fontaine in the huge hit of 1983, The Gremlins. So you remember the kid that actually throws water on top of Mogwai?
Yeah.
So they are both in the room. So there's Pete. This kid is the one that says, "Can I hold him?" And then when he goes to hold him, he throws water on top of him. So this kid is actually the responsible for all that mess up that happens with the Gremlins and stuff like that. Also, he was Clark Devereaux in 1985's The Goonies. He was Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th, the final chapter in the same year. He was the voice of Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 and 3 in 1990 and 93 respectively. And in the gaming side, he kept doing roles of voice acting also on the gaming side. He was Magnus the Griefer in Minecraft Story Mode. I have no idea because I don't like Minecraft. I've never understood the game concept, but there it was. It was his voice there. In 2011, this game was re-released in Steam and GOG 15 years later. And you can actually buy this game for €4.49 only. It's a bargain. And believe me, very interesting concept of mixing up the first point, as I was saying, the first person perspective with an adventure game. And it's really well done. Really, really well done. The game is quite weird in its concept and its plot. But I really, really, really liked it. And, this was the 90s, so there was a lot of motion stuff, cut scenes between some of the... That would give you basically the plot and would introduce you to the rest of the story. So was a really, really nice game that I had to bring up. Again, in the... genre of point and click, although not being a pure point and click, but still very, very good game that you guys should try out. I guess you played this one, right? I mean, don't talk too much because you sound like a horse, but
I sound like a horse. Okay, so this was
like
quite
you know why you sound
here
like
on the Couch Buddies. You
know why you sound like a horse?
DJ talk non-stop about a point and click or semi point and click game.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was like completely not new. I mean, completely new. We haven't done this before.
You get in the mood. You just go and roll with it.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about the horse, I mean, I just hear you speaking, and I instantly remember a song from the Beatles. You know which song that is?
No, I'm
No, you don't
curious.
know which song that is. It's
No.
actually not the song from the Beatles. It's you remember Top Secret, the movie from
Yeah,
1980? Is it 5 or 3? Can't remember.
I'm
It's
not
one of
sure,
those years.
but I remember that movie. Yeah,
And you know that there's this scene that the horse that they come on the horse carriage, or not carriage, but the back of the trailer,
yeah.
whatever it's called in English. Sorry, I don't remember. And the horse is singing, and the horse is, "It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog." Man, I just
No,
love.
the thing I actually remember is on the Monty Python and the Holy Grail, when he comes like in the start of the movie like a horse, and you'll just hear the and the guy comes in the
Oh
back with
yeah.
his coconuts. Oh, that was such an awesome scene.
No, but then
Such an
the
awesome
horse
scene.
starts coughing in the movie and stuff like that, and that's why I was
Yeah.
I was remembering of you.
So let's
So
get
go
back to
ahead.
games, shall we?
Yeah, let's get back to games. We gotta
Okay,
talk about movies though. I think it's a good
someday,
idea.
someday.
What about movies? What do you
But
guys think?
let us know.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments right there.
But let's go right back to 1983 when this game was first released.
That's when I was born. I
Okay,
was
so
born in 1983.
this game was made for the first time when you were born. The one I'm talking about
Okay.
came out 10 years later, in 93. It's the same game, it's a remake for the PC on the CD-ROM drives. It looked a lot better than the original game. It was
Okay.
animated by an ex-Disney employee, and it was a game called Dragon's Lair.
Oh.
I'm sure you played this one.
You're gonna talk about point and clicks?
This isn't a point and click.
No, I
The-
get it. I mean, I know it's not a point and click, but it's like it's an adventure game.
Yeah,
Like,
but this is like a react and pray. You just have to react and pray you made the right decision, or you die.
yeah, yeah.
This game
yeah.
was insanely, I mean insanely difficult. You just had to react on very little cues on the screen that told you what to do. You had 4 basic commands, up, down, left and right, and then you had the attack button. This was it, and this game was incredibly hard. You played the part of a knight called Dirk the Daring, I think, and you went into the castle to rescue Princess Daphne from a dragon called Singe, and he was in the castle of a wizard. If I recall right, his name was Mordrock or Mordock, something like that. And we started in the entrance of the castle, the bridge opened the hole, you had this kind of beast just going at you, you had to avoid it, go inside the castle, and then the real fun, and I mean not fun, the real difficulty started. When you had what seemed like endless rooms to get to the princess and save her. The game would take roughly 10-12 minutes to complete, but it wouldn't. You would be days, months trying to understand what you had to do in every scene, and actually trying to time everything right. This was like an interactive cartoon where you had to press the right button at the right exact time. If you didn't, you died. If you died 5 times, go back to the start. This was the
That
game
was-
and how hard it was.
I didn't play it. I didn't play it when it came out. I remember that I only grabbed. I think I grabbed this game in one of those compilations that would later come on
Yeah.
in several CDs. You know, usually ripped versions. Because this is, I'm not sure if you remember, but it was very common on the 90s that there was a guy that had a compilation of a lot of games in there. And
Yeah.
normally you would see games like, you know, Command and Conquer. I wouldn't say Phantasmagoria because that's really dependent on the movies. But whatever you could strip out of the game that was not necessary. You remember that back in the 90s that was really, really common, especially
Yeah.
when you were
Especially the cutscenes.
when you were downloading copies of your own games from the news groups. I hope
Yeah.
that I phrased this right. Because you already had the game and you wanted to download a copy, so you don't ruin the original
A
CD.
lighter copy.
There was a lot of these games that were stripped down of videos or cutscenes in this case. Sometimes they would be stripped of the music because this music
Yeah.
would come in CD
Some
audio
of them
content.
were quite unplayable at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the cutscenes were okay, but I think some of the when you would cut down the music was really, really important and would really
was.
affect the
It really
gameplay.
was.
I mean, can you imagine like playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater without that amazing soundtrack, or Carmageddon, or I don't know. I'm trying to find other games with like amazing soundtracks. But
Try
those
playing
are the ones.
Crazy Taxi without the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, exactly. Crazy Taxi. I mean, another one,
Seriously.
another great one. I mean, you can't. I mean, it just becomes a boring taxi game, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
A painful
I don't
game
wanna
to
make it
play
like
in
that.
the bottom parts of your behind.
Carmageddon was amazing with that soundtrack. I mean, Jesus, what,
It
like,
was.
what a game.
But
But
DJ,
so
DJ,
yes.
someone sent us a participation this week.
Oh,
We have a video.
oh,
Let's
very
get on to it.
nice.
Shall we get
Very
on to
nice.
it? It is.
I like to see the participation.
Let's
with,
see it. Let's go right
let's
into
see
it.
it.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Blade, Quake and DJ for their first YouTube anniversary. That said, I shall use this video as a tribute to their awesome work within the retro community. My choice for today is Rick Dangerous 2, developed by Core Designs and published by Microstyle in 1990. As some might recall, I already brought the first game to this channel, so this was definitely a long overdue video. This adventure resumes the events of the initial game, with the upcoming alien invasion. Our hero quickly goes to London, more specifically Hyde Park, to confront and eliminate the robot threat. A very interesting fact is the initial animation showing the Dr. Jones knockoff hat being hit by a laser, as well as the trench coat that gets replaced by a cape and an orange costume. This sequel clearly walks away from the original concept, increasing the complexity and the game mechanics as it should be. Rick is now armed with a laser and some bombs that can be placed or slided, increasing the level of strategy involved. Also, his pogo stick is replaced by a punch attack, and in some cases we have a special vehicle available to move faster within the levels. Speaking of which, there are 4 levels that can be played randomly. However, I strongly encourage everyone to follow the chronological order. After the player successfully completes the 4 levels, a 5th one is unlocked, taking Rick to the Fat Guy's headquarters for the final boss fight. For me, this is still the best platformer for the Spectrum and the Amiga by far. I would love to see a reboot of this franchise, but let's face it, the odds are slim to none. This was indeed a really fun video to make. I will be scrolling down by the comments to read your thoughts about this amazing necklace hero. And as always, game on, my friends.
Thank you very much, Hugo.
Awesome game.
I knew we would have to come. I mean, I knew we would have to talk about Rick Dangerous 2. We already talked about it. I know you like the Rick Dangerous series.
Yeah. You brought the first one to the Portuguese episode, so.
And it's always good to see Little Indiana Jones, you know? It's very nice to see Little Indiana Jones there. Obviously an unmissable game. And Hugo, thank you very much for, coming to the couch with us. And it's always a pleasure to have you here. And I hope that, people start following your example and bring more and more games to the couch. Blade, I think that it's time to we took a little bit of time on this initial part, and I think it's time to bring up the same thing that we already brought into our Portuguese episodes, but the Couchisode also deserves this, and I think that it's important, especially for people that are watching this that are not the usual viewers of our Portuguese content, but we want to bring the air freshener moment. So what is the air freshener moment? The air freshener moment. We need to make a jingle of this, like making this as an intro. We put it as an intro for every time we talk about this. So, what is the air freshener moment? It's a moment that we talk about games that are not so old and smelly and moldy like we usually talk about here. So, we're going to talk about a little bit more recent indie games. We're not going to be talking about, like AAAs or something like that. You guys have, the whole internet and YouTube to scour for that. But I want to talk about the game today that I played this weekend. It's available on Game Pass. So if you have the Game Pass, you can actually play this game. It's a quite fun game, and it's called Donut County. So this game is like I don't know how to explain this. So this is like the game where we could say that the trash is treasure. So raccoons have taken over Donut County, or which is a town or a city called Donut County, whatever, and with a remote control trash stealing holes. So you can obviously on the plot you play as BK. He's a hole driving raccoon that is basically swallowing up his friends' homes and objects and whatever to earn idiotic prizes. So what he's doing is actually playing. He thinks that he's playing on his mobile phone and he's going to get like a prize when he reaches to level 10. But in fact, in reality, what he's doing is basically eating people's, stuff and even them. Then what happens is BK actually falls into one of his own holes, and he's basically gathers with his friends that are all underneath 999 feet underground. And this is the funniest thing, is that every time you would come back to the story in each one of the levels, you would see all of them gathering around a fire 999 feet below the ground. So the premise of the game is just, it's a puzzle game, so in case I haven't mentioned, and that you have a hole that you control with your gamepad or your keyboard or your mouse or whatever it is, and then it keeps growing as you absorb objects or objects fall into the hole, either plants, initially small things like plants, rocks and stuff like that, but then it can get as huge as to the size that you can swallow a whole house and in there. It's probably the most unexpected game that I would start playing and look at it and would think, wow, this is fun. And eventually my wife joined next to me and she said, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I said, yeah, it doesn't, but it's actually very fun. So guys, it's on Game Pass. The cost is probably marginal. I didn't really check the price of this game. Okay, I'm checking it right here. It costs £8.59, whatever that is in euros. Again, euros. Yeah, it's a great game. Solid fun. I finished the game in like I don't know, maybe 2 hours or something like that. It's a very short game, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun and such a great indie game from Annapurna Interactive. So guys, if you want, give it a go. I hope that you like this segment that we brought up today.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, we had very good feedback on the Portuguese episodes. We hope that you guys also like it, that we, from time to time, we bring a less old and moldy game. But yeah, very fun. Try this one out.
Fresh air.
Fresh air. It gives us a bit of fresh air in order for us to, also talk about something newer that you guys also might be able to enjoy without being, dated graphics and dated, mechanics and stuff like that. Yeah. So, Blade, I guess that we can wrap up for today. Long one. Sorry, guys. But you know what to do. As we usually say, leave a like if you like, leave a dislike if you didn't like, subscribe to the channel. Don't consider, just subscribe it, okay? We're going to stop saying consider, just do it.
Just do it.
Like they say, the YouTubers, smash that like button. And that's it, guys. I hope that this is smashing the like button, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Not other stuff, okay?
Not mistaken.
Guys, thank you very much. And we'll see each other next week. Thank you very much again. And game on.
Horse Voice signing out here. Game on, everyone. See you all next week.